For another great edition of the King's Castle. I'm King James. I'll be your host for the next hour of entertainment news, wrestling news, and whatever else you want to know on this we call the interweb. And here to help me as always is my reliable but crazy colleague, Mr. Blair Chopin. Blair, good evening.
Good evening, subscribers.
And we are welcoming back to the show this evening for the first time in, 2 months, the equally crazy Mr. Pete Kohlberg. Pete, welcome back.
Thanks. It's good to be back.
I'll tell you something. This has been a very wild week for professional wrestling, not only in WWE, but for wrestling as a whole. And I'll get to that in a moment. But before we get into anything about the WWE for the week, we got to talk about what happened this past Sunday. Because this past Sunday, we held the 15th annual Bound for Glory pay-per-view.
We sure did.
Yep.
From Impact Wrestling. And I'll tell you something.
Did Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy kiss?
Well, no.
Kiss and make up.
No.
Close.
One thing I want to talk about as far as Impact is concerned here for a minute. I've tried to give them an opportunity ever since they've come on Pop. And they made some changes with Billy Corgan now being...
Wait, do they call it Pop or Soda?
The network is called Pop.
Oh, okay.
Pop TV. Anyway, Billy Corgan, for those of you who don't know, the guy from Smashing Pumpkins, is now the president of TNA on screen, while Dixie Carter is now the chairman. But they've made a lot of mistakes as far as the storylines are concerned over the past few weeks.
James, and I have a question. Who would have thought an egomaniac from a 1990s rock band wouldn't do a good job managing an entire wrestling organization?
Well, the thing about it is, we don't know how much he really knows about wrestling.
That was a joke, dummy.
There's no doubt about it. He knows how to manage a company, but does he know a thing or two about wrestling? I don't know.
That might have been the point. I'm not sure, though.
But anyway, they've made a lot of mistakes in the past few months, including recently they retired the King of the Mountain Championship and replaced it with what they're calling the Impact Wrestling Grand Championship. But the thing about that is, the title in itself is great, but the format for the matches for the tournament was something interesting, because unlike having a regular single elimination tournament where they have 8 guys in the ring, they all face each other, the winners move on to the finals and the semifinals and the finals. They structured it more like a boxing match. And by that I mean they had 3-minute rounds per match. And
Floyd Mayweather beat a woman.
I was thinking
there were 3 judges scoring the match from a 10-point must scale. Best 2 out of 3 rounds won the match, but the match could end at any time, being won by pinfall or submission. But if it went the full distance, it would go to the judges. Now, am I seeing things, or is that a cheap knockoff as far as contact sports is concerned? Because we've seen this kind of format before in MMA and in boxing. So what the heck are they doing? This is a knockoff, don't you think?
Yep, I think it is. I mean, I have to agree with you. I mean, they're desperate for ideas. They're desperate to get attention away from the WWE and to kind of distinguish themselves. But like you said, is it going to be effective? I don't know. I think they should have a Smashing Pumpkin match in honor of Billy Corgan. And they'll have it on Halloween. And they'll have it on Halloween. And someone will have to smash open a pumpkin and put their opponent's head in it.
Well, there's one problem. Halloween actually falls on a Monday, so that would have to happen the Thursday before, which would be the...
No, they'll have a special show on Mondays.
Yes. Halloween edition.
Well, we'll see if that happens.
And the loser will shave Donald Trump's head.
And also, this rivalry between the Hardys and the tag team champions Decay, who are Crazy Steve and Abyss, has gone totally out of control. In fact, they've gone as far as to subject Matt Hardy's wife Remy and his son Maxwell to be part of the storylines.
Wait, his son is named Maxwell?
Yes.
Maxwell.
Maxwell. Like asshole with Max. Or Maxwell.
It's Maxwell. Maxel.
That still sounds like Maxwell.
That's still a stupid name. Anyway.
I think I watched.
Either way, it's still
I think
stupid.
I watched that porno one time.
Anyway,
Again, I might have watched it yesterday.
wait a minute. Let me tell you what's going on. Over the past few months, they've had storylines where they battled at the Hardy estate
Mm-hmm.
in another one of those deletion
I
storylines,
call it the Maxwell estate.
similar to what Matt did with Jeff one-on-one.
Okay, that's what I'm
But this time, they decided to attack Matt Hardy's family, including leading everyone to believe that Rosemary, the valet for Decay, had kidnapped King Maxwell and threw him off the roof. And it was really just a hoax because obviously they wouldn't use the real child in that kind of situation. But that's crossing the line. I mean, I understand it's entertainment, but at the same time, there's things you can and can't do,
You can't get the kids involved.
especially if you're on
and not throw them off the roof.
if you're on a network show.
Spiral.
Yeah, you can't pull Michael Jackson.
Interesting fact though, I went to high school in the same high school where Matt and Jeff went.
Whoa.
For like a year, I went there, and then I moved.
Do you think Max Hull will end up at that school?
More than likely.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. But
I remember the girl we named Max Hull at my high school.
here's the thing. TNA and Impact Wrestling, I can appreciate the fact that you're not afraid to push the envelope as far as your storylines, but keep the dangerous stuff in the arena. Don't get the people's families involved.
James, I have a weird suspicion that
Because you scare people.
this all was scripted. And you might be the only one who was scared.
Of course it was scripted, but that doesn't mean it's scared. Doesn't mean it doesn't scare people.
Well, I think if it's scripted, I think everyone will be alright. The only time I was scared for someone was Shane McMahon. Jumping off the cage.
Oh.
Still a moment of glory, by the way, for me.
Max Glory Hole.
Anyway, but
James, do you know what a glory hole is?
no, and I don't want to know at the moment. Remember, it's a family show. Anyway, but Impact Wrestling, good try, but I don't know how much longer they're gonna last.
Bound for Max Glory Hole.
You have any comment on that?
I don't, but I do have something interesting that I have been hearing about, and you might
so he
get to
does
this
have a
later. You might get to this later when you said, I don't know how long this may last.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how long TNA is going to last.
Yeah.
From stuff I've been hearing.
I mean,
Ooh, what have you heard, Pete? Hold on, he's got scoop.
I've heard where WWE is in talks to buy TNA.
I heard that too.
Well, I have some information as it relates to that, as a matter of fact.
And I didn't want to jump ahead. I just...
Somebody,
Thank you, Pete. That was a good transition.
somebody, and I know this because I watched Bound for Glory back on YouTube and saw the comments.
So you watched it illegally.
Somebody posted the video and I watched it.
But did the company post the video?
No.
So someone illegally recorded the video and you watched it.
Where?
Are those sirens?
Where? It was a wrestling website. They post full pay-per-views. But anyway. Anyway, some crazy guy.
Arrgh, I'm James the Pirate.
Stop it! Some crazy guy started a rumor on YouTube that said that WWE actually paid for Bound for Glory to happen on pay-per-view. And I asked one of the guys that commented on it if they were actually planning to purchase TNA. And they said it was just a rumor. But I did hear that as of Bound for Glory, Billy Corgan plans to buy majority sales of TNA, so he may be the man in charge, not only on screen but behind the scenes as well as a Bound for Glory. We're gonna have to see what happens tonight.
Okay, well, I've got a question now.
Oh,
Okay.
oh man,
So,
juicy.
so WWE buys TNA.
Right.
Okay. What about these old WWE people like Drew McIntyre, Galloway, whatever his name is on TNA?
Well,
And now the Cody Rhodes I saw went to TNA.
and
What-
Damien Sandow, who's now known as Aaron Rex.
Right. What do they do? Does that just... Do they get a whole new contract with WWE? Does it void their contract? My point is...
Well, they could.
These people
it would probably be like the same thing that happened when they had the WCW.
Right.
Like they could choose who they want to keep and who they don't want, and
But these people
they
that...
can renegotiate their contracts.
These people that have, like... That haven't had the best relationship with WWE and go to TNA.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it would be the.
Well,
Would they
WWE's
go somewhere else? Or
I guess it would be the WWE's discretion.
Well,
if
see,
they
here's
wanted it or not.
Here's the deal. We've seen people jump from company to company time and time again. I mean, we saw Awesome Kong do it when she jumped to WWE and was known as Karma for a year, and that didn't last very long.
Yep.
And then everybody remembers when Booker T jumped from WWE and became part of the Main Event Mafia.
Yep.
But then he made his return to WWE in 2011 and became part of the announce team. So it's, while I agree that it's not very likely to bring everybody back, it's not uncommon to see certain superstars who have developed a following, such as Drew Galloway or Aaron Rex, possibly come back into the fray in WWE. Now, will they change their characters back to the way they were or keep them the same?
Good question.
That remains to be seen. But it's not uncommon to possibly see people come back should that happen.
Right.
But with that being said, we're gonna take a break. But when we come back, we're gonna segue into the mainframe storyline of WWE for the week. So stay right there.
I'm walking slow. I might stop the video. I might not.